Hi, I'm Dory Deskalakis, and I teach second grade at Southdale Elementary in Kettering. I do morning math every morning, like probably a lot of other teachers do. I think what makes mine different is it really depends on what I'm teaching for the day, like in group. Sometimes I do pre-teaching, sometimes I do reteaching, and a lot of times I put real-world problems that some might think are hard for second graders to do. But I found that in the morning, kids love to be social when they come in the morning, and they love to talk. And I don't want to squelch that, so I like to make it math talk. One of the problems that I did recently was involving my boys, and it was about chocolate. My son Nick was having a bonfire, and he was having people over to make s'mores. So I had bought him some chocolate bars, and my oldest son actually ate part of the bar. So my math problem was, do I need to go back to Kroger's to buy more chocolate? So the kids had to figure out how many pieces of chocolate Nick needed, and if I needed to go back out. And they also figured out how Tanner could have saved me a trip to Kroger's.
Poor Nick. He's having a bonfire with 5 friends on Friday nights, and he wants to make s'mores. Can you get a picture in your head of Nick? You all know what Nick looks like, right? What does Nick want to do? Do you see? What does Nick want to do? Who can tell me? What does Nick want to do, Logan?
Have a bonfire.
He wants to have a bonfire. How many friends is Nick going to invite? Rachel?
5.
5. Now, they're going to eat s'mores at this bonfire. How many of you have ever seen a s'more?
Yes.
What does a s'more look like? Edward, what does a s'more look like?
It looks like 2 cookies and 2 chocolate and then a marshmallow.
Excellent. It's like a graham cracker with marshmallow and with chocolate, okay? And Nick says, I don't know what your opinion is, but Nick's opinion is you need 2 pieces of that little chocolate in order to have a good s'more, okay? Can you see 2 pieces of chocolate on that s'more? Can you see Nick and his 5 friends sitting around that bonfire? You got that good visual picture in your head?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So now, let's go to the question. He bought 2 chocolate bars. Does he still have those 2 big chocolate bars left?
No.
He's got one. He's got one. What I want you to do before you solve this problem, if Nick has enough and if not, how many more, draw that. Draw what this other bar looked like. And then I think once you draw that bar, then you might be able to solve the question of, will Nick have enough chocolate for everyone to have 2 s'mores? Remember, 2 pieces of chocolate. And everyone's going to have 2 bars. And he's having 5 friends plus himself. How many of you understand that question? Okay, go ahead. Get started. Do whatever you need to do.
This.
Okay, while he's drawing that chocolate bar, okay, what do you have?
Now, I have this before and after, okay?
Okay.
That's when Tanner ate almost all of it. And that's when he did it.
How many pieces did he eat, Angelina?
He ate 19 pieces.
He did eat 19 pieces, didn't he?
Yeah. Maybe he was sick.
Well, he probably may have been sick. Okay, so he ate 19 pieces. Okay, so
Yeah.
so does Nick have enough with only this for his friends?
No.
He doesn't. No.
I have a big,
No.
huge.
So how many more pieces does he need?
He needs
How would you figure that out? How many more pieces would he need? How are you going to figure that
I
out?
have a big
he
bar
would
at home.
need
Actually, mine's 2 plus 2.
We need
And then plus the
kind of 15 or
Well, how would you figure that out? Because I think right now you're making a guess. You are right that he had 18 or 19 pieces, and you are right it's not enough for Nick. But how would we figure out how many more Nick needs? What could you do to help you with that?
we could count.
You could count. You could. Do you want to go use something over there that might help you
Yeah.
count? All right, go ahead.
So there would be 1, 2.
How did you do it?
There'd be 6 pieces extra.
So when Tanner, it's like the Hershey's bar that they had to pick.
Yeah.
I would be like this, but then when I to all the people, it came with 20, but I forgot to do that. And then there's going to be 1 left over, but
They need 40. There'd be 6
Was that enough
left if you.
for all 6 people to have 2 s'mores?
No, only his
can't
friends,
happen.
but because that would be enough.
Wait,
2, see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 24, 20.
Okay, but I'm just saying, can you just explain this picture a little bit better to me, Liam? Just explain the picture. Explain what you did. What does this 2 represent? Does this 2 represent?
Pieces of chocolate.
So this 2 represents the pieces of chocolate. And what does this represent? Is this anything up here?
This is the kid.
Oh, so this is the kid. Okay. So each kid gets 2 s'mores, 2 pieces of chocolate on 2 s'mores. So what you're telling me is each kid needs 4 pieces of chocolate.
Yes.
I see. So this is 1 kid, 2 kids, 3 kids, 4 kids,
And then,
5 kids. Uh-oh, what happened to the other 2?
well, I couldn't write one because that wasn't enough.
Oh, I see. Because there was only 20 pieces left in that one bar. I see. And that's where you came up with your 24. Is that how you came up with your 24?
16, 18, 20. And each person needs 2 per s'more.
Yeah?
And each person was going to have 2 s'mores, so they need 4 pieces of chocolate. And there were 6 people. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then that would be Nick. And he needed 3 more if he wanted.
I love how.
Had to.
You know what? I really liked how you
And
drew
if
that
he-
picture.
And if Tanner ate 16 pieces, they would have enough.
You know what, Noah? What I really like about this gives me a really good visual picture because I see that you blocked this off, so each person needs 4. So in my head, you know what I'm seeing? I'm kind of seeing like dotted lines here. And I can actually visualize and see those other 3 pieces. Nice job. Way to persevere.
Me and Kaylee use these,
Yes.
so if we group them,
Yes.
it figures out that
Kaylee, get the phone.
you group 2, but they all need 2. So
Okay.
4.
Yes.
You need 3 more to add on to 1 to get a 4.
I love that. That was kind of what Noah did, something very similar. He drew a picture, but you did it with actually building the model, Alyssa. Alyssa, so then if I go buy another, how about this? If Tanner wouldn't have eaten all of those pieces, how many pieces could Tanner have eaten where he could have saved me a trip to going to Kroger?
Ooh, I have a math problem.
Well, he ate 19.
I'm gonna tell Misty that I have 16.
Right. If he would have eaten 16, I wouldn't have had to go back to Kroger. You did. Liam, come on up.
I did.
Okay, so Liam, show what you did. Show your 6 circles. Liam had 6 circles, and then underneath each circle, he wrote 2 and 2. I wonder why Liam would have done that.
Oh.
Liam, choose someone.
Angelina.
Angelina, what did that 2 and that 2 represent?
That represents the chocolate.
Is she right, Liam?
Yeah, the chocolate one that he needed to give to everyone.
Right, because he needed 2 bars of chocolate per 2 s'mores.
Yeah.
So Liam didn't put dots. Logan put dots in his circles. Liam actually wrote 2 and 2 underneath. Did that still give them the same answer?
Yes.
Yeah. Who did it a different way? Who drew it a different way?
I did.
Who drew it a different way? Noah drew it a different way, and Alyssa actually modeled hers with blocks, and she did it the way Noah did too.
I drew the Hershey bar, and he needed each person needed 4 pieces of chocolate, and there were 5 people, or 6 people, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they would need 3 more pieces because everybody needed 4, and they only had 21.
So Logan did this. Logan drew 6 circles with the chocolate inside.
It's kind of like the Hershey bar,
Yeah.
but like less.
Liam drew his this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. And Liam did his this way.
Oh, then he counted it up?
Yeah. Then he counted up. Noah did his
like blocks. He did his like a block. He took a big block. Is that still going to give you all the same answer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He divided one big block into 5.
Is this divided into 5?
No, it's divided into 4.
You're right, because 4, 4, 4. You drew 3 different ways to get the same answer.
Yeah.
Is it
How
still
awesome
going
is that?
to? Very awesome, Angelina. It is very awesome because everyone has their own way of thinking. Your brains are all wired differently, and you all have the same different way of thinking. Is it all going to give us the same answer?
Yes.
Is any way better than another way?
No.
No. Yeah, it's all going to give you the same answer.
3.
You need 3 more pieces.
I also have a way to prevent Tanner from eating any more of your chocolate.
We need 3 more pieces. So I need to go out and buy a whole another big bar, don't I? How could Tanner have saved me a trip to Kroger? What could Tanner have done right here to save
Did
me
the
a
math
trip
for
to...
himself.
Did math for himself? You know what? I tell you what, if Tanner would have done the math, he could have saved me a trip. How could Tanner have saved me a trip? What could he have eaten that could have saved me a trip? How many, Noah? 16.
Misty.
How many less is that? How many less is that?
That's really
How many less is that?
3.
Matthew, how many less is that? 3. Just 3 less little pieces of chocolate.
Then
Yeah,
he had to eat them.
Have extra for Tanner.
I have just one last. How many of you persevered? How many of you persevered? Bella, Noah, how many of you persevered? Kaylee, did you persevere? How many of you learned something new today when you were, what did you learn, Logan?
I learned that if you work with someone else, it can make it easier.
Sometimes when you work with someone else, it makes it easier, doesn't it? Angelina?
I learned that when you persevere, you get the job done.
You know, my goal, I think, as a second grade teacher, not only to teach math, but just to have my kids love math. I will tell you, it was funny. The other day, a kid came in and he said, Mrs. D, I dreamt that we were doing math. And that just brings a smile to my face. When I first started teaching, I did not like teaching math. I did not like math. I was in the high math classes when I was in school. I didn't like it. I couldn't. I just had to know algorithms. I didn't know what I was doing or what the purpose, how beautiful math was. I didn't know how beautiful math was. I didn't know how to teach it to have my kids really understand it. And just standing there teaching them algorithms, what's exciting in that? It's just something you memorize. None of my kids, when they see a word problem, will say, I'm terrible at this, I can't do this. Because it's exciting, it's fun, it's a challenge, it's a puzzle, it's amazing. So now I love teaching math. Now that my morning math has spilled into many other aspects of my classroom, I will tell you that my kids come with their own word problems that they've made. Edward is trying to earn money for a video game. So he said, Mrs. D, can I make a math problem so the kids can tell me how much more money I need? I mean, it's just remarkable. And then not only did he want them to tell him how much more money he needed, he said, Mrs. D, what if I got it all in $5 bills? Math is around us in the world everywhere. And kids see that and then incorporate it, and they aren't afraid of it, and they love it. If we as teachers just exude confidence and excitement about math, then naturally our kids will love math, and they won't fear it, and they'll love it, and they'll see it everywhere.
I think they're fun, and I like when they're real.
I think they're really fun because when you try to figure them out, you have to you read it a lot and like the real word problems that Miss D gives us.
I think they're very fun and challenging.
Word problems, I think they're fun because I can do bar models and I can compare them and it doesn't take me that much time.
Word problems, if they're two-step, they're pretty fun.
Challenging, but fun on the other hand.
They're sometimes fun.
They're sometimes fun. Are they always fun? No?
I think that they're pretty fun and challenging, and I like challenging stuff. try and figure it out.
Try to do until I get it.
I usually get something out so I can help myself.
Keep trying to get the answer.
I just do the one number on the top and number on the bottom. That's the easiest strategy. If they're challenging, it's pretty fun for me.
Use strategies.
I'd try more ways.
I like math
Why?
because I'm really good at it.
I think it's really fun because, like, sometimes it's actually hard, and when I do, like, hard problems, I can actually do it with friends, and it makes it a lot easier.
What's your least favorite thing about math?
Getting the answers wrong.